Oops, I forgot to use the microphone there. Yes, today's talk is on the flashlight microphone. No, I'm just kidding. I wish I was talking about the fucking flashlight because, you know, it's funny. Today, what I want to talk about it really hits me like super emotionally heavy. And I wrote these notes up and stuff, and I was very orderly, and I was going to discuss it very academically and this and that. And I said, fuck it. You know, first of all, as I've said before, I'm pissed. Okay? You know why? Because I got scammed. God damn it. That's why I got scammed. Me. Education, this and that. You know, did it matter? No. So I wanted to talk about scamming. Hopefully it's going to help me, and I hope it's going to help you because, you know, scamming is a lot like cancer in many ways. It's a good analogy because, you know, I'm not going to say everybody, but, you know, a lot of people walk around and they say, you know, oh, God, cancer is such a horrible thing. And, oh, you know, I just don't want to get it. But then they say, yeah, but it's really not going to happen to me. And then when they get it, they go, oh, God, it happened to me. Well, you know, it's the same thing with scamming. You know, everybody says, oh, my God, you know, it's such an untrusty environment and we have to help protect each other and blah, 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 blah. But all of a sudden, when it happens to you, you're no longer reading a newspaper article about some sucker who got scammed. You're talking about a human being who all of a sudden is missing $1,000 out of his checking account and feels like a total fucking idiot. That's the worst part about scamming. That when you get scammed, I think it's part of the process. And I'll explain why. I'll explain it right now. I think that a lot, at least in my experience, and I've become also a YouTube video addict and watching all the scam baiting stations. And every time when they get caught, they let go with the most anti-American statements that I can think of. It's unbelievable. You know, it's like, you know, may I help you? You fucking American. You know, it's really absurd. And so, you know, in a way, I think that's part of the way that they rationalize taking your money. You know, no, taking like a 65-year-old widow's money that, you know, she lives on Social Security. You know, how do they rationalize that to themselves? Well, it's because they don't like America. A lot of people don't like us. I don't like us necessarily, but nonetheless, I think we are a very big target for getting scammed. Not to say it doesn't happen elsewhere, but, you know, everybody in all these other countries think this place is rich. And therefore, they feel entitled because things aren't equal. And to some degree, I can't disagree with that, but not by getting scammed. Because you feel like a stupid asshole. And then afterwards, there's this incredible, there's a fork in the road, okay? You have two choices, which is patch the hole and stick your head in the sand, or stand up and fight like a man or a woman, okay? And I'll tell you something. I'm a fucking man, okay? I may be a lot of other things, a goof, a knucklehead, whatever you want to call me, but I am a man. I am, what's that? Da-da-da-da. I am a man. Da-da-da-da. I'm not shitting you. So I have been like I don't even know how long it's been months and months. But I eventually ended up climbing my way. I wrote something like 20 emails to the main company that I decided to at least try to get my money back from. And they ignored, at the office of the president, okay, they just ignored I think 19 or 20 emails, each one getting worse and worse. But I never swore or anything like that. It was very professional. I can write. And so they've not responded. But today, guess what? And that's why I'm making this video now, because I really don't feel like it. Because talking about this really upsets me. Okay? But I lucked out, and I mean, I am perseverant like a pit bull. Okay? That's one of my strengths. Sometimes it gets me in trouble. But when I feel right, I sink my teeth into something. It don't come out. Okay? And I sunk my teeth in this corporation. And I've been calling them every single day. I'm retired. What the hell else do I have to do? So I'm getting a kick out of it in some ways, but it doesn't matter because they're wrong. Okay, they're fucking wrong, and you know I don't care if I get a kick out of it anymore. I want action. Okay, but you see, the average American, I think, just says, well, it happens, you know, and you know, thank God we don't have cancer. You know, worse things could happen. Let's be fortunate for what we have. You know, bullshit. Not me. I am fortunate for what I have, very fortunate, but I don't like it taken away from me by anybody, especially somebody from a country who doesn't like my country and who doesn't like me because of that. It's so ridiculous. That's how all the Jews were killed in Germany. Stop it, you assholes, scamsters. Fuck you. So, I'm going to push the pause button. Phew. Boy, oh boy. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's really emotional. I don't know where I would have gone. And you know what's so weird? Okay, you know, I used to be a therapist, a big deal. But, you know, I got up, I was walking around pacing just as I pushed the pause button. And you know what I did? I reached over and I grabbed this. You know, look. You know, it's like one of those fancy schmancy ball-bearing, you know, nut. I picked this up. I mean, that's nuts. I mean, you know, Freudian slips, you know, but that's how fucking mad those people made me. So, you know, let me just make a few points. You know, one, like I said, one of the worst things about getting scammed, and I think they do it on purpose, is that the part of the strategy of the scam is to leave you feeling like a stupid ass. Okay? I saw the scam happening as it was occurring, and I was like hypnotized. And you can't explain what that feeling is like until it's happening to you. You know, you just can't, because they use these various techniques that are very psychological in nature. Pick up a book on NLP, you know, neuro-linguistic program, as much as I don't like them. You know, they spell it right out because they teach people how to sell shit the same way that they were used to do therapy on people, that you can now influence people to do all kinds of shit. So, you know, there's a book on it, you know, and one of the techniques they use is called fractionation, which is adopted from hypnotic theory. And notice hypnotic theory, and I felt hypnotized. And it's actually the use of confusion. And when people get confused, they get anxious and uncomfortable inside. And you know, it's just unconsciously. You want to alleviate that uncomfortable feeling. So if you're confused, as long as that person keeps up the confusion, you're uncomfortable. But as soon as you say something clear, and usually like in a different tone of voice, one sentence like, I think we should kill all the Jews. Everybody who's been confused alleviates their anxiety momentarily by going, yeah, I get it now, right on. Put them in the chamber, you know? So it's not a lot different. It's like you're driven by a force that I can't describe. But one thing they do is fractionation. If any scammer ever asks you to use a gift card as sort of like a Bitcoin as payment, just swear at them and hang up, okay? I couldn't believe that I was actually doing it, because I had often laughed before that other people had fallen for that shit, and I went and did it, okay? I'm being very frank. I went and did it and went away feeling like a stupid asshole, and I'm not, okay? I'm not. Because all you got to do is watch on YouTube and see how many fucking other people it's happening to. It's happening to like everybody by a bunch of people who don't like us. Why is it that it's happening in India and in China primarily? It's very weird. Obviously, that country sees us as very wealthy, very vulnerable to pick on, and then stupid. Because once you learn the basics of how these guys scam on computers by watching these simple YouTube and entertaining videos, you can, you know, very clearly see how simplistic it is, but yet how sophisticated it is, because their mentality is forensically oriented. It's criminally oriented, okay? It's slick. they come across, especially the women ones I've heard, come across so sweet. And in the meantime, they're slowly driving a dagger into your spleen. You know, it's disgusting. And somebody's got to do something about it. Now, right now, I am in the midst of a big battle with this major corporation. Believe it or not, today, just prior to doing this video, Carpe Diem, remember? I wanted to make one of my daily calls. And so I did. And I was shaking my leg in anxiety. See, and it was moving the chair I'm sitting in. This is a sensitive subject. I'm sorry. But I'm now in the midst of a fight with this major corporation who ignored 20 letters to the president, about 50 or 70 calls to various customer service variations. I finally got a phone number that I called like 4 times, and they just kept sending me these automated messages. And finally today, by the grace of God, somebody answered the phone. And she happened to be an investigator. And she happened to be a very nice woman. And I happened to be a very pissed off, nice guy. And she's going to move on it. Supposedly, she talked to the legal department while I was there. Look how my voice is slowing down. Don't you see how upsetting it is just to talk about this fucking bullshit? And she said, you know, just sit back at this point. Now, provided I become so hypervigilant that I wasn't talking to a scammer during this conversation, provided that isn't the case, she said, you know, just sit back and relax and we'll be keeping in touch with you. And she gave me her direct extension number. Within this corporation, you can't even find a directory. They don't have a directory. Each department has its own directory. That's it. Only the office of the president has a directory of the employees. It's crazy. So, you know, we'll see. But I guess I want to, you know, I wanted to just kind of give you like the inside picture of what it feels like to be scammed. Oh, and I forgot to mention, outside of just feeling like a total idiot and having lost $1,000, then nobody comes and wants to help you. So you have to initiate a whole shitload of calls, like millions of them. The police, the Federal Trade Commission, the Better Business Bureau. I called Channel 5 News Watch or Scam Watch or something, and they made it so difficult. You know, I wrote a brief essay, and I thought they'd want to interview me or not. No, you had to like documents and this and that. It was like going to court. I couldn't believe it. So, but you end up making a jillion calls. Like, I'm really nervous. I really am, because I told you I had 2 heart attacks right in a week about a year ago. And, you know, you're not supposed to be getting even upset making this video. So if I drop dead right at this moment, it'll go viral, I promise. But, oh God, what a morbid thought. See what this thing has put me through? That's my point. You know, I'm not being histrionic. I'm dramatic, you know, yeah. So what? I like that. But I'm not histrionic. I'm not getting overly dramatic about something that like was just like, you know, you lost $5, big deal. Or, you know, somebody won't accept a return because you didn't have the receipt. You know, this is $1,000 we're talking about. And a big company who's acting like a stupid, no, you know what see, that's how mad I am. Yeah, I was going to say all kinds of things. No, what they really are is like, they're like Mahatma Gandhi. Like they were not responding. Like, period, after 20 letters that were linked together every time I sent them. So each time they were getting a copy of the prior 18, 19, 17, 16 letters before. So anyhow, you know, you'll get embroiled or else you can put your head in the sand if you can live with yourself like that. But I can't. And, you know, I want to enlist your help in doing what I'm doing, or maybe not as much because I'm an eccentric and that's my nature. But, you know, don't sit there and just rationalize that you just got, you know, sodomized and without Vaseline and we're supposed to enjoy it. Okay? No. You were wronged very badly. And you know, but look at the horrible analogy I just made. I mean, don't you? If you believe there's something unconscious that exists, it's flowing out of me at this time. I'm surprised I haven't murdered somebody. You know, oh God, I better watch that. That may be taken off YouTube in about 2 seconds. But no, I mean, I'm really quite worked up. And if anything else, just, I told you I want to be spontaneous on the show. I want to talk about certain subjects. I could go into, I wrote all these notes about, different kinds of scams to be aware of and how they do and blah, blah, blah. But, I just needed to rap about this and hope that this communication will give you the inside experience of what it's like to be fucking scammed. It's awful. And all those people who are scamming should be just lined up and shot. That's all that's all I got to say. So with that, I just thought that I would possibly sing a little song to chill myself out. Hang on just a second here. Oh, I'm sorry. Got carried away. Namaste. Thank you for listening.